Happy New Year! Happy New Year! I wish you all the very best for good health, happiness, prosperity, friendship, peace and joy, all those wonderful things that we say to everybody, but I'm saying it to you really sincerely because I've been overwhelmed with all your blessings and good wishes, and I really, really appreciate them. So sincerely, I'm wishing you the very best of 2025. And we've got amazing weather here, so I'm going off to start work in the garden, get some spring work done. We are blessed with beautiful sunshine today, and it's very calm, there's no wind, so I'm already out preparing the veg beds for the coming growing season. And I've done other videos about the way that we have our no-dig beds, because what I do is I weed by hand, hoe, and then I put layers of organic material down. So I'm starting off with cardboard, which we recycle from a shop in town. And then we're putting down this sheep's wool, which is full of minerals. And on some of the beds we put down seaweed, and sometimes we put everything down. So this little bed has been quite neglected the last year. So I've put the sheep's wool down. And then I'll put a little sprinkle of seaweed, and then when it's ready to plant into, I'll top it off with our homemade compost. And it should be incredibly nutritional for the plants growing, so that the plants will be nutritional for us. I'm just putting this little bit of chicken wire just across it to hold the wool down in case it gets windy. There, that'll be grand. And we're digging up a new path here because it was getting it's quite a steep path down to the next part, and it's just getting a little bit slippy, slidey, and we're thinking ahead. So we're digging it out. It's all rock, as you can see. It just goes to show how shallow the soil is here in Connemara. There's always a rock just underneath. So as you can see there's very little soil that's been taken off. It's exposed all this rock, so hopefully we can blend it into a much more safe and secure path. So I'm going to do this bed now because it's all about fresh starts at this time of the year. And I love the fact that in the garden, because it's a seasonal occupation, there's always different things to do. So I love this time of the year when I can clean things up, get everything tidied ready. It's like expecting visitors when you make the house nice and clean and tidy for visitors. We're expecting visitors that are going to be our food that will be growing here. So I want to get everything nice and clean and tidy, get these few weeds out. And because it's so early, because we've been lucky with the weather, I can pace myself and just take my own time. There's no rush. So I'm going to clear this bed and cut back some of these brambles that are trying to root into it. And then I'm going to go and look at some seeds. Okay, so that's done. What I have to do now is go up to the shed and get some sheep's wool to put on top, and then I'm going to look through my seed box, which is always such a thrill. So come and see what I've got. Here I am with my magic box of seeds. I mean, I can't believe what's in here. It's a while since I've looked through this, of course, because I stopped sowing around August time. So, oh. Now this is... I usually buy my seeds from Irish Seed Savers because they're heirloom seeds and they're organic and open pollinated seeds. So I think they're the best I can find in the Republic of Ireland. There is another company called Brown Envelope Seeds, which is down in Cork. And I've discovered a company in the north of Ireland, in Northern Ireland, and I'd forgotten that I'd ordered these. So it's like Christmas morning again. So I've got organic cauliflower, organic endive, organic leaf mustard, organic lettuce, organic wild rocket, organic spinach, and I've got some organic thyme, yarrow, and motherwort. So I buy my herbs from a herb nursery, a specialist herbal nursery for herbalists. But I thought I'll try and grow some of my own this year. So I've got yarrow, thyme, and motherwort. So that is so exciting to find out because I'd forgotten. I've also saved some of my own seeds, which I think is really important. So I've got Sweet Williams, foxglove, calendula. I've got some wild herbs that I've saved seed, agrimony. I've got coriander and nasturtiums and some kale seeds. They're all easy to save. And I just feel that saving your own seed is an extra level of security. And these seeds, it's like Jack and the Beanstalk. He gets the magic beans in his hand and that sense of who knows what is going to happen. It's the same with these seeds in here. And going through the seeds is the preparation, really, isn't it? Looking at what's gone out of date and probably won't germinate and getting excited about the new seeds I'd forgotten about. It's all part of the preparations of summer, of spring sowing rather. And I think I mentioned in the last video that we've got all kinds of plans. We're going to try electroculture this year. And our research so far, some people say it doesn't work. Some people say it's magnificent because everything expands in size. And some people say you have to wrap copper wire around wood. Other people say you just stick a copper pipe in the ground. So we're going to do a few different things to trial it and see what works best, if it works. But I think it's a good thing to try because it's one of those methods that was, I suppose, rediscovered in the 19th century when there were a lot of curious people, amateur scientists, natural philosophers as they used to be called, who were investigating all things like this, and they all believed that it was something that worked and worked very successfully. Nowadays it's dismissed as a bit of woo-woo nonsense, so we're going to put it to the test and see. And we're going to be doing this course that I mentioned where I will learn more about it in a much more practical way. So looking through the seeds is really the first step in the plans, and then that will help me plan what am I going to sow first. And you know, we've got lots of plans for the garden this year to do different things like the electroculture, but I'm also looking to try biodynamic farming as well. So that's part of this course that I'm going to do in March. So my sowing will already have been done by then, some of it. Obviously you're sowing right through the year. So it's just a lovely exciting time. The daffodils are coming up. The robins are back hopping about. Well, they're not back because they don't go anywhere, but they're visible in the garden again because they know that it's time for us to be working out there. And every time you turn the soil or do a bit of hoeing, they appear ready to eat up all the pests that might have been unearthed. So, and I'm so excited because I've got a couple of podcasts that I've been invited to, and I'm doing this 2-hour lecture about Bridget and making Bridget's crosses, which is through Celtic weaving Voices of Remembrance. And I'll put links to all these things below. But back to the seeds. We need to be aware that seeds are sacred. They're sacred things because they bring forth life, and that life nourishes us, feeds us, keeps us alive. So it's part of that whole cycle of life. And seeds are precious and sacred. And so if you're growing your own food, I would advise you to get open pollinated seeds that are organic, because then you will be able to save your seed. If you buy something like I bought these hollyhocks, they're from a reputable seed company, but a lot of these seeds that we're buying in supermarkets and wherever, a lot of them are hybrids, so they won't produce seed, or if they do, it's not going to perform as it should because it might deviate after being crossbred. So I do go to the supermarket sometimes for, this is a wallflower, which is from a supermarket. But my food growing seeds, I always buy organic, open pollinated, because then I'm sure of seeds that will germinate and that will produce true stock, and that I can save seeds from. So it's just so important in these days, these times we're living in, to just bear that in mind, because you don't want to be growing food that doesn't produce seeds. We've seen what's happened to farmers in India. They've ended up, they've lost their livelihoods because they can't afford to buy new seed once their harvest is in, and then they're left with nothing. So lots of seeds in here that need sowing, which is why we're going to expand our growing area. The polytunnel has to be restored and fixed up again, as I've mentioned. So that's all part of our work this year. And we have neglected the garden in recent years, so it's definitely going to be rejuvenated and revived this year. I've got new herbs coming to go into the herb garden as well. I've got seeds for herbs. And so it's going to be full on busy, 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 but particularly growing food. Look, mullein seeds. It's great that I've got, you forget what you've saved and put away. Elecampane seeds, more cucumber seeds. And it's just amazing to look at the variety that I have here. Different beans and peas and cucumbers and types of cabbage and carrots. It's just so exciting, isn't it? So I hope you are going to go through your seed box and start making preparations. And I know from last year when I was talking about this that a lot of people don't see the earth until May, depending where they live, because of snow and ice. But nevertheless, it's still a great idea to get through the seed box, see what's still there, see what's still germinating. And I did a video about how to test for germination, which I will put up. So if you want to have a look at that, it's a really simple method, and just so exciting and so much to look forward to. And I hope you feel the same. So I'll leave you there and I'll see you next week. And by then I'll have this sorted out and I'll know exactly what my first sowings are going to be, because it's already January and I can start sowing in February here, which I'm looking forward to. The greenhouse is all ready. I've just got to get everywhere else ready. So I'd better get on with this, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed today's film. If you did, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. And have a look at the website danusirishherbgarden.com for more information about us and about the herbal medicine courses I offer and the Wise Woman Way training. And if you go to the shop, you can find the books, the weed handbooks and other herbal goodies. And remember, we put a new film out every Sunday. So looking forward to seeing you next week.